thing. I have started the videos for December, quite a bit done. I am going to be uploading more, and they're going to be open to the members today. So I've got 6 done so far, and the rest of the day I'll be recording for December. So we do also have the webinar for the eclipse in Sagittarius, which is coming up on my website. If you want to get a mini read, it's going to cover your astrology, what to expect for the next 6 months relating to Sagittarius. And it's also going to give you some tips relating to your chakra. So if you want to come and join us, the link for my website is directly below. And pretty much you'll only have about 2 days left to purchase because it's going to be Monday. Now, I have actually brought the session forward due to the time changes in America and other places in the country. I am actually hosting the webinar now at 8 a.m. Western Australian time, so that those of you in Europe can actually jump on and not fall asleep. Okay, let's see what's coming through for masculine and feminine. Now, I have been dreaming about the serpent rising, and it was like really quite strange dreams. There is a lot coming through relating to the karmic situation around this circumstance. And that can be the karmic contacting you. It might be karmics and people from the past coming back. You know, a lot of you are going to get a lot of communication with situations of the past. Now, it does appear to be that the masculine's vibration is also changing. And again, because we've got the astrology shifting, you're going to see... you're going to be hearing from them, but for a lot of you, it might be that they're checking in with you. They're going to go away for a bit and then come back again. But there appears to be a little bit of a shift. And like the highlighted area, what my guides are showing me, is to do with the T section in the road. The T section in the road, feminines are looking at it like, okay, a lot of you guys may be a little bit worried because of the Venus retrograde. Is this a bad time to connect with my twin? No, okay. It's a great time to connect with people that we know. It's a great time to look over those situations, but also if you have less attachment, you're able to really move through that situation and heal and try and resolve some of those things. I do feel also... the masculine at the moment is really determined to focus on their path and to get their life back on track. And I do feel they're very matter of fact to do with it. I feel that they're very different. They're looking at life differently. If you're coming to it like they're pulling the wool over your eyes, it's definitely because at the moment what we have to understand is that old vibration of who we were tuning into. These are not the people they are anymore, and it's due to the people that they had in their life, the circumstances they dealt with. Plus how the astrology was, it was like they might have been MIA for quite a bit, and now they're resurfacing, and the resurfacing in the situation is really to connect in with the divine feminine. Both parties have had a lot of stress on them, but both of you, if you're holding and embodying the stress, you know that good old analogy, and it is a tension point at the moment with the positions. So the positions are going to, for some of you, have a lot of base chakra energy coming through. You're going to feel almost blocked. It can be lower back, bowel. It's your structure. It's your foundation. You're also going to find your cycles, for those of you that are feminine, can be coming and going. It can be really inconsistent due to the fact, again, Venus is going to be retrograde. But it's that co-creative energy that is coming through. And I don't know why they make... I'm going to have to pull some cards for the situation. Now, one of the dreams that I had, it was the masculines communicating with me on the 5D in relation to a subject between... Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yes, now I remember. It was between the karmic and the feminine. Now... This is really interesting. I've been hearing a lot of songs, and it started off when I started channeling Leo, which does make sense because the eclipses will relate to sun and moon. Now, the channelings that I got was the song Jolene. And Twin and I were talking about it, and it was funny because I've always loved that song, but I always related to it. But funny enough, you know, sometimes when we are dealing with a karmic energy, it can be a person, place, or thing. Many times the feminines were directly, you know, putting masculine on a pedestal, And it was like, although we were singing about our circumstance and maybe feeling that that situation was out of our control, hi, Dal, and that they were moving with somebody else, the song and the way it's coming through now is almost like we're singing it like a logic of we know what we did. Now, let me explain. What I'm visually seeing is in the old days, divine feminine had this fair-based frequency that a karmic could take her man. And its counterpart. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a feminine. It's the twin energy. Now, what I'm being shown is you need to reverse it, because the way masculine seeing is there's no competition. And it's also when you're in high vibe, and it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. By no means do you have to be perfect. You're really starting to see the light of who you are, that it's not a competition. You know, connections are the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's really the twin flame path, what it kind of shows. It does show a lot of ugly in the initial stages. But then because there's nothing to hide, what they're showing me is with the song Jolene, it was funny because, who was it? Who's the original singer? I've forgotten her name now. It's just gone out of my head. Because Miley Cyrus did a duet with Dolly Parton. There you go. But it's, again, Uranus and Taurus, which is divine feminine ascending, and it's new and old coming together. But it's also to see the shadow effect of that. You do have your gorgeousness. You do have your mastery. There is something very alluring to do with you that this person is spiritually connected to. And in the old days where you felt maybe another person could take what was yours, the reality is they can't. The spiritual connection, they're having this revelation that it's very connected. But they're also, how do I put it? They didn't actually choose. Let me put it that way. Let's pull more cards for me to get into it. The temptation with you is there. So the devil and the detail is they're looking at the shadow effect, and they're realizing that at a point it caused great pain for you. But in their truth, it's like having these revelations that that's not who they are. It's not actually what they want. And what they do want is to have a deep spiritual connection. And the eclipse in Sagittarius for the masculines is a very spiritual perspective. We're getting back to that tradition. You know, even if you scroll through the algorithm, you'll notice posts, and that can be on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and you'll see commonalities coming through in the collective. One I viewed was Oprah Winfrey having a very traditional Thanksgiving, and that's the energy of what's coming through with Venus retrograde in Capricorn. So it's the tradition, but Pluto in Capricorn is there. So for the masculines, the devil and the detail is the chemistry to you, but it's also the spiritual connection. Let's see. So the song came through. You may also feel that their behavior at the moment is a little bit weird. You might also, you know, no sooner do you forget and you're just accepting where things are you getting like phone calls and movement. And this is really going to be popping off between now and all the way through to 2022. This is going to be a really good moment to actually reassess the connection. I know Juno is also going to be moving into Capricorn, and we're going to assess whether both parties can actually join on the table. And again, what does Pluto do? It asks us to let go of what doesn't serve us. So is it a wound? Is it a memory? Is it a value system that we held so close, but when we step back from it, we realize maybe it was fear-based frequency? Whatever it is for you individually, we're bringing that tradition back. We're bringing in that new vibration of how the connection is going to be. I get a lot of sadness coming through. I did in a channeling actually see the divine masculines either weeping, and the weeping doesn't have to be in a physical sense. It can be where they directly are feeling super emotional, you know, grave regret, you know, sort of feeling they'd stepped off path, but they're really wanting to get their life back on path. They're really wanting to move towards their divine feminine. There's chemistry there as well, and the intimate chemistry is very high at the minute. The spiritual attacks relating to the karmic are coming through because the karmic is actually looking at you through the song of Jolene. That was one download I had. It's that before it used to be you were the person who something was getting taken from you, and it feels a reversal of fortune, but it feels a reversal of polarities. So the karmic is really feeling as though something is out of their control, and that this connection is almost destined to be, and that's scaring them quite a bit. But that's only because, you know, they've been in the connection. If they've been controlling and dominating it, it's D-Day now. So Venus retrograde is always about, okay, let's reassess where we're at. And even in the channelings, I will be uploading the next karmic read into the members hub, and then come Monday, I will open it to the public. It's a very interesting read. It's, you know, it's got a lot. Okay, so through this eclipse, it does look that the masculine is really deciding what they're going to do. This can be with a legal dynamic. It can be with a some sort of paperwork that they're physically having to look at. For some, it can be career-based. For some, it may be actually severing the contract with the karmic. This can be to do with their home. Again, I am sensing money. I also feel the spiritual value system isn't matching at the minute, but they also feel that they do have a spiritual contract with you. They're looking at the past, and they realise that within the connection, they had a lot more freedom, and it was almost like they moved into this entrapment logic of a connection. And it's caused more conflict. They have done all they can to release themselves of this situation. Again, they're going to find more success due to the fact we're going to be having the eclipse. And it is like very forceful. It's like really wanting to get their power back. In the heart, they feel really messed up. But it's not because they have no closure. It's more because they're trying to get this off the ground. They're trying to get this movement and this balance back in their life. And what appears to be is their whole foundation can feel like it's crumbling. Now, it doesn't mean to say something really terrible is happening. It's just an old life that they had doesn't resonate anymore. So it feels at a psychological level that the floor is crumbling, the floor is lava. But it's something they're actually wanting because it doesn't resonate with them anymore. This can be for some a move of house. It also can be, again, like I said, it's a severing of a contract, but it's really reassessing where they're at and what they're doing. I almost feel like this deer in the woods where it's like fright night, and they're kind of, you know, stopping and going, if I go 20 paces more, I'm really locking myself in, and it just doesn't feel natural. I do feel they're getting their heart into balance. They're accepting the past, that it was never meant to be. That something wasn't matching their vibe, that's something like, you know, sometimes when we're trying to get out of a circumstance, we can't forgive ourselves. So we're very logical, we're very 3D, and I feel they're really ditching the 3D, and they're accepting whatever that 3D is, and now they're taking direct steps to shift it. So if they felt imbalanced before, they're very on point when it does come to their mission and their connection, but they also know that that connection has to be with themselves so they can be honest and earnest to people involved. I feel they're bringing balance to the heart. They're trying to be compassionate and understanding, but they're also very aware of the karmic energy, and their feeling is like, how do I put it? In some of the psychic downloads I've had, they accept the karmic for who they are, and they don't expect any more. So it's not that they don't have their truths about them. They know what they're dealing with here. If this is a person that is very toxic, if it's a workplace and it's really not resonating, they're in their awareness of what it is, and that's the reason why they were stuck in it, is to show them where they had power, and to show them that is something going to stand the test of time. Hi, sweet. Or isn't it? And I feel they have this resolve, but it does come through in the karmic read, so it makes sense that it's coming up here. Like I said, the new karmic read will be up. It'll be in the members hub today, and then it will be launched on the main page on Monday. So it's like they logically know who this person is, and they've made some adjustments, but they're actually in awareness of it. They're not in that victim consciousness. They're darn on it mad at themselves because there was empathy here, but the empathy was actually holding them back. And now it's like they're feeling, okay, enough of this victim consciousness, enough of having empathy and understanding. It's not that they're not going to relate to it with empathy and understanding. It's that they're having to actually move forward, and they know that these energies around them, it does not resonate. Yeah, they just feel that they've really missed their friendship groups. Hi, sweet. They've missed their friendship groups. They've missed being connected with people that they feel are their tribe. Some of them through the karmic connection have had a very limited friendship group. Some of them have had a limitation of permission in their life to do what they wanted to do. And it was given to the karmic. It wasn't that they are a victim in it. It was due to the fact to not rock the boat, they gave the permission to this individual, but all the while knowing that they could pull the pin at any time. And I feel they're having this revelation now. It's not what they're saying, it's what they're doing. They're keeping the cards close to their chest. They're ready to go in for battle. And they're not going to be putting up with it. And it is because they know this zebra has not changed its stripes. They've given them all the opportunities. They have healed it. This can also be a karmic that has been using manipulation to keep the masculine there. It might have been, I'm not well, or my finances are out of sync, or it's victim consciousness, okay? I do feel they do care for this person, but not an I love you zone. This can be for some. If they do have children together, it's okay. I need you to be okay so that you're okay to maintain your well-being. I feel through an empathy sense they will do such, but at the same time, romantically speaking, I'm not feeling a romantic connection here. I'm hearing the term, I'm not your solution. Again, they feel that they're just not connected. It feels like a caretaker job. It doesn't feel like a direct romantic position. So that's what's coming through in this space. Let's see on your side, feminines. For some of you, you might have been considering, okay, what am I going to do with my life moving forward? A lot of you may have been having dreams or connections to people from the past. These can be flighting energies. It also might be a decision that you feel you're needing to let go and you're needing to move forward. And no sooner do you tend to get, contact. Happened to me so many times. So you've got these change of plans and you kind of feel it. So some of you psychically may be feeling the energy of your twin very close, but it can also be something very separate where you feel something in your life is changing and you're having to own an attribute of masculine energy inside your life. I feel you're also, happy Thanksgiving all. I feel you're also feeling the sacral chakra energy rising, but you don't want it to be just about intimate energy. You want it to be a true traditional connection. And I feel you don't want anything less. So that's pretty much the way you're looking at it at this point. I do feel many of you have actually gone through a massive purge. And that massive purge has helped you to be a lot lighter. And I feel through the exhaustion, you have some of you, and it's 50-50 at the minute, the pocket of energy that is coming through for those of you that are numb, and feeling like, hey, sarah, a lot of you guys don't have attachment to anything, but you'll just be able to filter the information that comes through if communication comes in. And I feel due to that, again, communication's coming in, but you're going to be able to filter it. You're going to be able to decipher between what is yours, what is the karmics, and what is true. Some of you, I also feel, if you are meeting people, you're seeing attributes of the old vibration of your twin inside this person. And this can be yin to yang, like it can be that they're having that spontaneity or that you're having that chemistry with that person. For others of you, it's more you're just going to be able to really gauge where things are at. I do feel somebody is watching you guys at the moment and it's making you feel a little bit, paranoid. But just realize you do have a lot of chemistry energy coming through in you. I feel the charisma is coming up. Some of you also may feel that, how do I put it? Again, you just want a traditional connection. You don't want someone who is, not putting into it, not coming to you in a way that they're showing openly how they feel. And so this is helping you to really avoid problems because you're actually looking before you're jumping. Let's see what this is about. Some of you may have an individual around you at the moment. This can be you or another person. you might be trying to think how you're going to sort this out. Now, what do I mean by this? This can be okay. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Some of you are wondering how on earth to broach the subject if the communication comes in. Where do we stand? For those of you that are in communication, some of you also, it's like the plans for Christmas are coming, the plans for New Year are coming. There's this anxiousness that's building. There can be an emotion or a feeling that relating to that date, something's going to shift. For some of you, it's shifting in January. For some of you, it can be shifting and you're wanting to make plans, but you're kind of holding yourself back. Make plans, but also allow yourself to, if you choose to, you can change them. But definitely don't stop making plans and stay in alignment with where you stand. I do feel for some of you, you can get word prior to. For some of you, I do feel there can be a surprise guest. But this is going to surprise you, but I do feel the way you're going to relate to this next 3 months is going to be really unique, but who you're going to be in 2022 is going to be very different. So I think it's all preparing you. You're being really down on it. Look, I'm moving forward. You're aware of your blocks. But triggers can come up to do with give and take. I just feel it's really important that if you guys get communication, that if something's bugging you, instead of letting it fester, actually use communication. Actually get to a point you just articulate what you need, what you feel, what you're looking for in a connection, without the attachment of how they're going to relate to it. And I feel you're going to have more success if you do such. Trust your intuition and your instincts during this time. But again, if there is a new person coming in, which I feel for some of you, it can be like people from the past, this can actually help prep you for union. It can be a situation that you can look at a connection from a different perspective. And even if you end up remaining friends, it's almost like it's going to heal you at a different level. Okay. Now the joint connection. Let's see what's going on. Number one, they're up in the energy. Okay. It has been quiet. Had twin block for months and he emailed tonight. I'll call it. Don't get upset if people contact us during like Venus retrograde. The thing is, if we were to take the emotion out of it and we were to look at the twin flame astrology, the masculines were going through their liberation over the last 2 years. So it wasn't that we were going to get our movement right away. And this is the start button. So this is the real beautiful rebirth of connections, where we can see where each other are at. And generally speaking, if you've been getting really tired, sometimes we tend to look at it as what's the point. Another way you can look at it is if you're really, really tired, generally both parties need to come together, even if it's just meeting and hanging out, to upgrade the energy source so you got a bit more zoom, okay? Because your ascension symptoms will become quite difficult. Once you can remove the ego to a healthy degree, you then can come back into communication, and that's going to revitalize your energy source so that you have energy for 2022. So trust the process. Interesting. Offers from the past coming back. At the heart of it, you're like stuck in between a rock and a hard place. And I feel both parties are. I do feel both parties have had subjects to do with family that have been coming up. It might have even been siblings. I do feel there's this rush, and it's like this rush and this cramming to do homework. We're trying to bring things together. There can be subjects for those of you that have, some of you might fall pregnant. Just be careful. And I'm doing the 2022 scopes. I'll talk about that at the end, but just depending on what your zodiac sign is, there are certain aspects there for pregnancy. So, you know, if you can't be careful, buy a pram. If that's what you want, great. If it's not, just be cautious. I also feel there can be subjects to do with tribe really coming up at the moment and being realigned. There's also healing to do with father and lineage coming up for divine masculines. And for feminines, it can be to do with tribe as well. It's our role that we actually took in the family. We're recreating that new role, and we're physically learning to be a different vibration in the family and not own it and try and fix it. Now, what I'm seeing is there's a lot of stress. It's almost like, oh, heck, okay, this person, you know, it's okay. This path has been stressful. 100. We can't, like, what would the word be? We can't minimize that statement. Let's just be perfectly clear. Now, yes, blast from the past up. And this is between the both of you. Yes, okay, so you could be thinking to yourself, gee, you know, I'm getting blast from the past coming back as my twin. If they're in a karmic relationship, it's more they're probably going to be following you. But in life, with everything, it's about alignment. It's about, okay, what resonates with me today? And it's not illegal to change. So there feels this feeling that both parties are really looking at that, and they're really looking at the change. And there has been things to do with family. Hi, Dal. There has been things to do with family. So it's almost like we can feel quite threatened by, which does make sense, Sagittarius is there. It's like, okay, it's like, you know, our traditions, the things that we held dear, especially as feminines, a lot of times we might have gone above and beyond and it would have affected it. And then we were cross about it because we didn't keep our lineage there. So again, I am seeing subjects to do with family on both sides of the fence coming up and concerns relating to it. I do feel there's going to be a balance, but I feel a lot of that is being balanced out at the moment. I don't know why. I get this very strong feeling something's going to pop off on Christmas, but it's going to give you a solution. What do I mean by that? It feels like if a lot of focus was where it wasn't meant to be through the eclipse and Christmas, I'm kind of seeing a redirection of energy back into the connection. Wherever that is going to show up for each of you will be individual, but it's definitely going to get to the heart of the matter. And I do feel this sense of liberation. I feel it's almost like both parties are going to realize, hey, we didn't even see that. And then you're going to really, really relook at it and work out what to do to move forward. But I feel it's a redirection of the energy on other people back into the spiritual connection. Yeah, brand new beginning. Brand new beginning. You may be removing people from your life that maybe are manipulating you, maybe not accepting healthy boundaries. But I feel this is happening in both parties' life. I do feel the masculine is ready for this fresh start. Okay, I really do not feel this is a negative. I feel this is very positive. I do feel there's going to be a lot of movement with the masculine. So I'd really hold on tight. They're really ready for this. Sometimes it can look ugly before it looks pretty, but I sense this is happening like at a drop of a hat. It's like really fast. Okay, anything we need to know that is hidden from us? Some of you are clearing past life energy. We've got the Akashic records. Whoa! Whatever this is, it's big. I have been dreaming about the tower quite a bit. Let's pull an astrology card. And I might select a ruin. Okay, so you're going to have to be on point. 50% of the deck. And it's going to happen quickly, okay? You're going to need to think clearly, but you're going to need to decipher how to deal with this. It can be a big thing that pops off. Yeah, Mercury, head, throat chakra, okay? It's going to be a real big thing. And it's going to happen quickly. And I do feel it's going to happen at a drop of a hat. It might, I don't know why. This can be something that actually also happens globally. And you get a phone call from your twin. And it shakes the person. And the person wants to check if both parties are okay. I think it shakes the ego out of us. Okay, what's happening with masculine? Yep. Where's the book? Where's the book? I picked the wrong book up. Bear with me. So hot here, I tell you. Did I put the number on the back of it? No. I have these ruins, right? And I did start actually putting the number of the page. Some of these I do know off by heart now. I want to get a new set as well. So, any synchronicities at the minute, peeps? What have you guys been experiencing? I have been looking at, okay, so the animal totems I've been seeing is spider and flies. I do feel there's someone spying on you at the moment. And I also feel there's something that we need to remove out of life. Again, it said the same thing. Mercury, you're going to hear something. Look at this. Okay, so at the heart of it, this is going to be something that's going to shock you. It might be something that you hear on the news, something in the media. It also might be to do with gossip that comes through. We did have the gossip card. Now we've got Virgo, which is very Mercury. It's having to be a critical thinker and having to make a decision based on information that comes in very, very quickly. Now, this element relates to Virgo as well in the joint connection and Swan. Okay, so earth and air, gold. What does it say? Was often used by warriors as a symbol of protection, and this seems to be its principal function. Raise the hand palm forward with the middle of the finger. It's like the key to life, right? The Egyptians used it. Okay, quadrant may be in need of protection, but confirms that such protection is assured. All the quadrant needs to do is confirm this link with the divine through prayer. I'm telling you, something's going to happen. I don't know what it is. I have been thinking about it leading into the Sagittarius eclipse. I feel whatever this is, it's going to trigger a tower, and it can be in both parties' lives, but it's going to bring both parties realism. This is actually going to pull both parties back into the connection to protect each other, but also to make a decision about movement forward. Now, this is what the masculine has, and I feel it's going to be sudden. Sudden. I wonder what it will be. I don't want to know. I do think it's a large collective shift, though. I'm hearing the term newsworthy. Mind you, there's a lot of propaganda at the moment in news. Filter it. Horse. What came first, the horse or the carriage? Well, the horse did, right? Masculine, horse, Odin, air. I don't like these psychic downloads. Okay. Indeed, without a special relationship established between man and the horse. Domesticating. Okay, so what does it say? Tribal group, I did say that. It was like dramas happening in family with the masculine. Dramas, and a lot of you that are dealing with them may know this, that there's lineage that's coming up, that there's also, it's okay, where am I going to live? Is everything going to be okay if they're choosing to separate and there's children involved? How do we do this? But it's also to do with where they feel they resonate, regardless of what the devil in the detail is, which they're really focusing on at the moment. Tribal group, the face of competition from aggressive neighbours. Depending on the horse's master and the number of the horse, they could breed or capture. It links to Pegasus, to whom no obstacle was insurmountable. Mars. Mars is in Scorpio, which is the war god. Breaking into the wild horse requires more than brute force. The cooperation of the horse is required. See, this is what I was saying in the read, is that the masculines have felt. It's like it was permission-based. So sometimes we can look at them and go, they know not what they do. But once they're really loathing what they're doing and it doesn't resonate with them, it is all permission-based and they can pull that pin at any time. I do feel this is coming through. Travel, partnerships, marriage, self-control. Inner journey, astral projection. Recklessness, haste, disharmony, mistrust, and betrayal. And they do know that the karmic, they're looking at the karmic. They're like, I know who you are. I know who you are. I know what this is. I'm not silly. I see it for what it is. The horse provided the man with the power to cover great distance, sweeping down upon enemies and hunting down fleet prey. True horsemanship is the greatest accomplishment. It is like the hero's journey. So it's literally where The horse is physical freedom, but it's also like the chariot. You know, in traditional layman's terms, the chariot was led by the horse. So he's a master of his own destiny, and he's actually taking his power back. But something's going to pop off, and I do see like he's coming through like Mars, the war god, in the heart of it, and having to make a major decision. But I do feel they're actually stepping in and back on their path. Any questions? We will check in. I do have, like I mentioned, I've recorded the Karmic read. I'll try and upload it today, and I'll put it into the Members Hub, and we'll launch that early Monday. Moving into 2022, we are going to have regular, I'm trying to also record the Christmas energy. For those of you that are in the Members Hub, I'm going to be doing additional reads. For those of you moving through the Chrissy break, so there'll be additional specials in there for the Members Hub. And I am going to put a post up, so if you guys do need to communicate with me in the Members Hub, I'll put a post up and we can check week by week where everyone's at. And then you guys can communicate and support each other through these transits, just so that you're not alone, you know what I mean? But I will be doing more lives in December. I may come to you on Mondays as well as the Fridays, and that'll be on the main platform. Just an FYI. I'll just collect the cards up and I'll reshuffle them. So, any circumstances that you guys have been dealing with? Any updates you want to give each other of what's been happening in your own lives relating to your twin flame path? Nighttime triggers have been coming up. The Schumann resonance did spike to about 28. I haven't checked it today. But just keep an eye on it, especially with this eclipse in Sagittarius. It can really keep your fluid up. And because we have placements in Scorpio at the moment, you can have those heart palpitations. So it's really important to be careful with your caffeine and things to that degree. So if you're going to drink caffeine, just make sure you really flush it through your system, because the vibration of intensity, especially by the 24th, we have a square to Uranus and Taurus. We also have the nodes shifting and the eclipse that's coming. And the eclipse can be a positive thing, but it doesn't mean to say that's happening on the collective. On the collective, we already do have a lot of news coming up relating to, riots and, people wanting liberation. It's because Jupiter's there. Jupiter's shaking things up, but Jupiter also can be to do with religion, propaganda, stress points, agitation, and having that personal mastery of that you are free and being able to really, push it into your life, you're going to be at peace regardless of what's happening in the collective. Yes. Energy-wise, caution with meat. It's only because Pluto's there at the moment through the Venus retrograde, you may get inclined to eat really heavy food and it may not process. So make sure through the Christmas break that you really balance your base chakra, because that's going to help with the digestive process. But I don't know what it is at Christmas, but it feels funky. This can be something in your family, feminines that's happening, and simultaneously it happens in masculines, and you guys might communicate to actually support each other. Okay, so who was the first bee? Why is what zodiac is he, doll? On an additional level, I would say, look, a lot of times when twins block us, this is my experience, is that there's something either popping off on their side, well, it kind of makes sense, because at the moment, when you look at the Venus signs, that will be Taurus, that will be Libra, and currently we can actually look at Capricorn as Venus at the moment. Those zodiac signs, as well as Scorpio, they're going to be main things in our life happening. Now for Libra, this is very personal. This is to do with feeling who their tribe member is. It's also a change of heart. It's a reality of what's really valuable and wanting to connect in with those individuals. Let's see what's coming up. Yeah, they want to touch base with you. They want, it's up to you whether you choose to. It's usually a sign that they're becoming more open. If they've messaged you, that's different. But it's a new cycle that's coming. Didn't come across that he wanted to have a normal discussion. What was said? If you can do, like I said, the initial connection is first going to be a touch-in to check where you're at. If there's a lot of hyped up energy and aggression and anger, they'll step back, they'll retreat. I sent in the previous message. I'd have to scroll all the way up, sorry. But yeah, it depends on the layman's terms. But generally when they come in, he wanted me to confirm that I was not in contact. Just ignore it. Well, that's kind of a rhetorical roundabout way of saying if he's in a karmic relationship, the karmic's basically saying that he's full of BS. Asking me to email to confirm that we are not in touch. Don't even bother. Say, not my juju, buddy. But it's a confirmation that they're having drama. Just don't become part of it. And it's just confirming exactly what's been coming up in the read, that there's dramas in paradise, baby. There's dramas in paradise. So who's the next one? Lois. Yeah, it's not. But he actually feels close enough that you're not a liar, that he felt he could say that. You know what I mean? You're wanting to make a judgment, Lois. It's like, I don't know, I was picking up on your energy yesterday, and there's lots of changes, there's lots of new starts, there's lots of changes, there's lots of opportunities, and you don't know which one to take. It kind of feels strange because it's like the roles swapped and suddenly you're in the power seat and you're going, I mean, you have been the whole time. We just don't see it that way. But suddenly all these opportunities. This can also be people saying, hey, I don't want you to leave work. Or it can be, what am I going to do with my future moving forward? You might have already taken those steps. But it kind of feels like there's everything coming at you at the moment and you feel like you're going to make decisions. It feels pressure orientated. You can change your mind, you know what I mean, Dale? So if you want to go out for a coffee maybe, or go and do something with someone, it's up to you what you feel is correct for you. But it's almost like there's a lot of pressure to make decisions and do the right thing. There's no perfect. That's the critical mind. That's the, okay, you're safe. Do you know what I mean? But you got a lot of suitors here. It can be in your dream state where you're telling it to him, look, you're running out of time, I've got all these people coming at me. But again, you can choose. So there is this element of an ability to choose with multiple options. It just really depends on, what you're wanting to do. Do you psychically see someone coming in 2022 in love? If so, when? They're saying to me the 3rd month. I don't know why I see, Tiffany, you traveling. Are you wanting to travel somewhere, Dale? There's somewhere to do with the location that you're wanting to go to. This can be visiting family, going, so I feel it's physical travel. You could meet someone in your travel, but it's visiting. There's something to do with visiting or going to a location, and they're showing me that could be an opportunity. Yeah, I can feel it. Lois. It feels as though, but it feels on your travels. I'm seeing a location you're going to, and I'm feeling it's lighter in energy, and I do feel there's a potential of communication. But Lois, oh my gosh, what you going to do, girl? Have you had a job opportunity? Because it does feel a job opportunity too. You're kind of like, what way do I go? I've got to make all these decisions. You're a dag. You asked if they were there. So, yes, I'm feeling they are. That's too tough for me. Guess what's on TV? Titanic. I told you. Okay, I talked to Leo Nix yesterday, right? And we were talking about the astrology. I think I was also talking to a client last night about it as well. And the Titanic was the song that came through for the Twin Flame Connection, which I mentioned to Leo Nix yesterday. But initially, the Titanic song was for my twin and I. It was like I said, it's our song sort of thing. But it was both for my ex's mother's funeral and his mother's funeral. No, ex's brother's funeral and his mother's funeral. And I was like, how did my song get taken for a very different... And I guess, you know, she did lose the love of her life. But when you look at the astrology, it happened in 1914. 1914 was World War I. And we do have similar aspects to World War I as to World War II. The concern is, you know, with Jupiter moving into Aries and definitely with transits moving forward, there can be subjects to that coming up. But you tend to see during those transits, there's liberation. Now, also, the song had relevancy to the spiritual connection and the yearning for both parties to come back together. But it's also, yeah, it's all this thinking, feeling, emotional, you know, actions. Maybe 2022, good time to see him. Destiny-wise, it's bringing it together from here moving into 2022. That's how Venus retrograde is going to be really helping to see where it's at and whether it's ripe and ready to be picked. Do you know what I mean? And those of us that have done work and we're able to actually handle our triggers moving into it. I talked about this in the previous video and I did chat to a couple of clients about it. And then we do come out, we're able to decipher between, okay, gee, I'm really triggered, but you're relating it to it differently. But you got more tools, so you find you're just not, you know, running from it. You're able to deal with it. Yeah. So again, this can be a time that is quite purgatory, but it also can be a time when we are... how can I put it? There's a choice, okay? Two guys wanting to see me from before. Would you pick either one of them as a connection? You know, does it feel it's taking you away from your path in life? Do you have a lot to do? Do you feel the chemistry's there? You usually will have more, and, you know, really assess it now because you're going to have more logic now over moving into Venus retrograde. It can be really romanticized. It can still help you heal. I say less is more. It's great to know that, you know, we actually all collectively do have options. We do. The healing and the spiritual connections there, it definitely helps us grow. It can help us raise our vibration and realize that we are worth something. You know? But it's also, especially on the song theory, we all have case-sensitive words and terms. So something that you find is really sensitive, especially during this transit, Sagittarius is to do with religion. Now, look, like I said, you could have a spiritual connection similar to me with the song. Mine is Celine Dion's I'm Flying on My Own, and that was for my father. But it's also spiritual to me that it's me having the courage to actually realize my father's still with me. That in the waking life, nobody's inside my veins. He's inside my connection. He's everything I am, everything I aspire to be. So those energies, those memories are always there. It's being present in our life and realizing those connections are still with us. It's just not in the humanistic experience that we see things. I do tend to see things very differently, but it's actually desensitizing the emotion. And the further away we get, I still now and then do get a little bit of PTSD with flashbacks and things. But again, from a spiritual point of view, with the triggers, I'm able to move through them and realize that I'm present on this planet and one day I'll be with them. So I try to be very present in this life. All of us collectively have lost a lot of people. So it's about, really using that and turning it into gold, using it and also allowing a song to be a song as well. Coming through saying, please, please don't. Last night in meditation. Yeah, well, look, technically speaking, he's with the karmic, and this is the crazy thing. In our ascension, our subconscious mind will come through in our dreams. So it may be because you're tempted right now to actually choose a path. And I think sometimes we've been holding on for so long, it's almost like, okay, if I move forward, will this person comes back? If they do, like I always promised myself at the end path when I had gone through my awakening, that if I met somebody that felt similar in a higher vibration, that felt connected, and that was something I would investigate, I would take it day by day. And because nothing's assured, no tomorrow is assured. It's always today. How do I feel today? Do you get the psychic downloads? Yes, I did. That's why I didn't bother with connections, because it just wasn't going to be stable for me while I was purging. And it wouldn't be fair to the other person. But if you will always know. You don't know how the outcome's going to be, but it's always a yes or a no. And if it's a I don't know, this is a backup plan, it's called drop it like it's hot and really walk away. So this is a real good time to know what we feel may be for us. And again, by the end of Venus retrograde, you may change your mind again, and that's okay too. You're human. Any other super chats before I love you and leave you? We do have the webinar on the website at the moment. It's being launched on Monday. It is for the eclipse in Sagittarius. So jump on if you want to come and join us. We are having the session earlier. I have shifted it back to 8 a.m. Western Australian time. So those of you in different countries are able to come to it without it being midnight. We are going to be connecting with the astrology, twin flame connections for those of you that join. Any chakra tips I need to give you, and the tips relating to it between now and 2022, what you need to look out for. Separately, if I have time, I have developed a video template, and I'm going to be launching it on the website. And what I'm doing is, it's going to be a conversation piece in 3-month intervals through the whole year of 2022 of what to be mindful of in love, career, health, and I can't remember what else I put in there, and the tips for each 3 months. So if you want and you're interested in that, message me on my website and I'll give you the update when it's going to be ready. Okay, and it'll be a one-off purchase. It won't be very expensive, but it's basically, you can keep it, you can scroll forward and scroll back, and it's going to give you the tips relating to health, movement, career, money, your chakras, what to really be mindful of, and how to navigate those things, when the best times are, when the poor times are. And then that way you can keep it as a resource for the whole year of 2022, and you can go, right, it's even tagged where it's those 3 months, so you can drag forward and drag back. What's the other thing I need to tell you? Videos will be up shortly. They will be at the beginning of the month. I'm using all of December as well to do more content for January. I will have sections of the schedule towards the end of December blocked out. So if you need a spot and you feel during this Venus retrograde you're going to need a booking because you may have an issue or a conflict coming up with your twin, I will be working all the way to the 24th, but then I'm 23rd, but then I'm blocking out the schedule. So between now and January, it's going to really build up and the schedule will be full. So if you feel some dynamics going to pop off, I do have emergency readings. You'll need to inbox me. Otherwise, book your spots now so you get in. Love and light. I will see you during the weekend in the Twin Flame Hub. Stay tuned for the Karmic reads, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.